All right, so we had a big day today in Bitcoin on a couple of the exchanges. It hit all-time high. So this is the Bitstamp chart, and it hit the high for the day was 19,864, which surpassed the high in 2017 of 19,666. So I know it was a day or two ago I had said that we would get a pullback, but the pullbacks that I was expecting for this cycle were much smaller than the ones we had in the previous cycles. Previous cycles we had 30 to 40% pullbacks between these big jumps in price. And I thought what we would see this time in this cycle, and what I think we're going to consistently see until we reach that all-time high level, is we're going to see pullbacks between the 15 and 25% range. I don't think they're going to be as dramatic, and as Bitcoin matures in the future, they're going to be less and less dramatic. So, what tipped me off to that? Whenever we had this big run up after we had the sell off in March, we had a pullback, and it was 19%. And then whenever we broke here, price ran up, and then that pullback was 21%, and then we ran up. So I was like, okay, so even though these are only 2 points, I do feel like this cycle's different. There's a lot more attention. People are more aware about Bitcoin, and I just didn't think we were going to get the big drops that we've seen in the past. And the pullback was short. I think that was it. And the reason why I think that was it was because yesterday I was saying that I would re-enter this once we had a green 1, green 2 that closed above a green 1, with that green 2 closing above the high of this 9. What I didn't think was going to happen is I didn't think we were going to get a close of a 1 above the high of the 9. I thought it wasn't going to be as aggressive, but the move was a large move. And these, it was a $1,500 move today. And these 1,000 plus moves are becoming more common. So we had almost one here. We had one almost here. Another $44 it would have been. This was a drop of 1,500 today or yesterday, because it's the start of the new day. Bitcoin's on UTC time, but so $1,500 move. So I think we'll start seeing these larger $500 to $1,000 moves. They'll be a little bit more common in Bitcoin. Maybe we'll get 200-300, when we're consolidating, but I think this is going to be a little bit more common with less pullbacks. So let me go back to my other chart, the one on Coinbase. So on Coinbase, we didn't get to the all-time high, but a lot of people use Bitstamp. It's a larger exchange. They do more volume. So if you're using that as your gauge, we hit a new all-time high. So the thing about this is, in these prior levels that never got really back tested on the daily, this one came extremely close. I mean, these technically did. I like to see them back tested with red numbers. These didn't create red numbers. It was just a continuation of the count. This one got extremely close. I mean, what, $11 on a $11,000 asset? That's probably good enough. But I like to mark them. Just if price does pull back, I can see where a potential support is. So with these, and this is one from back 74.30. We're probably never going to go back there. I don't think we're going back below 10K. I posted that a couple months ago that we were never going to see below 10K again. So what am I in this position? So you could be. But I think what's going to happen, are we going to get another large move? We can, but we have a lot of indicators that are so overbought that I think we can still get some big wicks, some aggressive price movement, but I think we're going to start to kind of mellow out. Price is going to start to find a range, and then we can go higher. So let's see. Let me address this 11,918 on my chart. So this in 2000 and towards the end of 2019, I saw this pattern that was forming, and it's called a cup and handle. So it's here, to here. Let me turn this off. This is the cup. And then here to here is the handle. So, way this pattern works, cup and handle. And this is so this video, it's more of the idea for me is that I'm cleaning up my chart. There's a lot of things that happen. We got a new all-time high. That's a big deal. There's a lot of things I need to clean up, so I'm kind of doing this for myself as well. But I'm doing it live, so I can create a something for y'all to watch and maybe learn from. So the target here from the handle part, that target was. Did I draw that right? Did I draw that? Yeah. So that target was around, say, 17,776. So say 17.8. And then the next one is this cup part, which is right there. Draw that over here. And that is 20,000. So we pretty much got there. We pretty much got this cup and handle completion. You know, we were short. I mean, no, we can still go a little bit higher. So that's almost 20,100. So we could maybe wick a little bit higher, but this cup and handle, as far as the pattern goes, it's about completed. So let me just, I can get rid of that. I can get rid of these. I can get rid of these. So we have that pattern pretty much completed. We're going to look for something else. I mean, this could be forming a massive, you know, cup, and then handle. Maybe we get a little handle that comes out, and then the target for that would be really large. I'm not going to draw that right now, but so what can we see? So what are we doing? So the next thing was that we got a new all-time high, and I had tweeted, let's see, I think November 3rd here, and I think I pinned it. So yeah, I tweeted here, on November 3rd, Bitcoin is going to reach a new all-time high within 60 days. So why did I tweet that? Where did I get that from? So in 2009, the high for that rally was 13,868. On November 3rd, we finally closed above that. And that signal to me was resistance. As soon as we had a daily close, that was large resistance. As soon as we had a daily close above that, we would start to bring in new buyers, new money. So on November 3rd, there, we closed at 14,035. We almost got close to it here. But here's when we close above it. And that's when I tweeted, within the next 60 days, we're going to get a new all-time high. Because that was essentially uncharted territory. You know, we had gone that high in 2017, but that was FOMO, that was, you know, fear of missing out, that was just mania, retailers running the price up, just people jumping in, running it to that around $20,000 high. But this was different. This was the start of the next cycle, and that's why I made that tweet that we would reach all-time highs, and we pretty much did. So now that we got there, I think it's time to stay patient. We can get a little bit of volatility. I think we find a range. As far as Bitcoin goes, if trading isn't your thing, you can take a position. I mean, there's a really good article that shows that, you know, buying every week or every other week or every month, and then just holding that Bitcoin for 4 years, your returns would be large. Oh yeah, and I'm talking about this TD Sequential. I'm going to put a link. I'd mentioned that there's a book. I'm going to put a link to that book in the description for this video. But so yeah, getting back to this, I think we consolidate. Is it possible that we are still going to get to these ranges? So for this, whenever you get a 9 count and it completes, the 1 is support. Right here. So, could we get a pullback that is larger than this after this run up? We can. What would that be if we did it right now? 23%. But the way this works is if we did get a pullback and we held here and then we started to bounce, the way that you trade TD sequential, that would be support. I mean, that should give you support. And then that would, so if we came down, we bounced, that would indicate, we had maybe price go to 15.3, and then we kind of went up and got back to that 15.7, 15.8, and we showed momentum going up. That would be, okay, I can re-enter. We're going to go higher. But if we broke down, then all these other ones would still be in play because, like I said, the way this works is once we break a new all-time high, that's, all these other areas that I was concerned about, they start to lose their relevance. So right now it's uncharted. This is all new, and it's exciting. So I'm going to be able to test, to see how much better I've gotten over the past. Been doing this for almost 4 years. So, and then let's check on our 30 moving average trade. If we would have entered, we'd still be in it. So we would have entered here, say on this close, and we would be up 13%. 13% since the 28th, so about 2 days. We wouldn't exit until we got a close below the pink line. We wait a candle to make sure it's not a false signal. But even if we did exit right at it, right now, 10%. So good strategy. I think it is. Especially once it works real well and then we get these big run-ups and make a nice profit. So I want to go over that real quick. Where this is uncharted, so it's going to be challenging. We're high. We have our indicators that are, starting to trend down. They're in overbought areas, very close to them. They've been there for a couple of days. The weekly's still high. Wow, it's at 84 in 2017. It got all the way up to 90. We can do that. We're above these levels. We're above what we hit 2 weeks ago. Not by much, but we are. So we could go a little bit higher. Let's see what the Bollinger Bands look like. Bollinger Bands. Oh, man, we're outside of it. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, we are. So we're outside of it here. But we're getting some follow-through. Is it going to stay like this? No. I think we find a range. I think we start to find a range. We had a lot of movement. I think we start to find a range. And then new patterns will develop out of that and get new targets, and we'll see how it goes. But I'd stay patient. Averaging in is a really good strategy. We'll see how it goes over the next week. So, thanks for watching. Oh, thanks for watching. Hold up. I wanted to, I said I was going to go over some weed stocks real quick, or a couple days ago. So this is one. This is extremely small. On Friday, this was a $40 million market cap. I think today it closed almost 80, so it almost doubled. But the bill, the MORE Act, is going to be voted on this week. And that could bring large price movements to companies in the cannabis industry. That's to decriminalize marijuana. There's some more in that bill. It's going to be before the House. I think it'll pass. So we could see some large movement. But these are so volatile. These are extremely volatile, and they're way oversold. So if we get these movements, it'll probably be, buy the rumor, sell the fact. There's, a target up here. There's There's also some news on a merger for this SNDL with one of the other stocks I had talked about, Aurora Cannabis. That's bringing some movement. There's a lot of speculation in this right now. But if you're, I would say aggressive. So if you're trading aggressively and you're making a return, there's nothing wrong with taking profits. But you don't want to make a profitable trade. You don't want that to become a negative, a loss, a losing trade. So, I'm going to hold, I think, my positions until that bill passes. We'll see how much movement we get. It could get crazy. We could get 20 to 50% all throughout the the industry. So, with stocks that are publicly traded. Tilray is on an 8. Tomorrow we'll get a 9. And there's risk here. You want to make sure that you're sizing your positions to where if you do take a loss, you're only losing 1 to 2% of your total account on these. The entries for these were, if I'm being honest, they were a couple of days ago. So I think I had shown here. Yeah, so they were like the 20th. What's today's date? 30th. So like 10 days ago is when you really should have entered a lot of these. And then you'd be like 60% up. Even if you waited and entered here, you'd still be about 20, 30% up. Same thing for this one. About 20% up. So yeah, something to watch. That bill's coming through. When would you? So if you're buying here around 9, when would you exit? I mean, I would say I lost if it drops 5 to 6%. But you get aggressive movements, and then so here we had what is this, 3%? But yeah, 5 to 6%. I'd cut my losses. So you would risk manage 1 to 2% based on a 5% loss potentially. And you have to know in trading, you have to know when to cut your losses. So there's always another trade. You're always going to hear a story of someone who made a tremendous trade and did really well. There's always something else. There's always another opportunity. So don't get hung up. Don't get don't get extremely focused on one asset and think that that's the only way you can do this. There's so many assets. There's thousands of assets traded in all the markets of the world. There's over 1,000. I think I saw an article recently that it was over 1,000. So yeah, there's always another trade. Move on, cut your losses. If you have a winning trade, develop a strategy, follow through with that strategy. Don't break your rules. So, but yeah, so that was it. Cannabis stocks. Let's watch them. They might be great. So, thanks for watching.